Rain lashed the cracked pavement outside the warehouse. Thunder rolled like distant drums. Inside, Ryan Cole pressed his back against cold brick. His breath came in ragged gasps. A single lantern cast trembling shadows. Footsteps echoed across the concrete floor. He tasted metal on his tongue. A folded envelope sat on the steel table before him. His fingers itched to open it. He hated love letters. He always had. They felt sentimental. They felt weak. But something about this one felt different. A low hum of electricity buzzed overhead. His pulse thumped against his ribs. Outside, a siren wailed. He flinched at its urgency. A sudden crash of glass sounded. Behind him, he whisked his head around. Dark shapes moved in the corner. His heart threatened to burst. He lunged forward. Boot heels clicked on concrete. A masked figure stepped into the lantern's glow. Ryan's jaw clenched. His hand hovered above the envelope. A gust of wind rattled the door. Rain sprayed inside in sheets. He could feel each droplet on his skin. A voice rasped from the shadows. "Thought you could hide from me, Cole." Shock froze his limbs. He swallowed hard. Lightning flashed, revealing a slim, urgent silhouette. It wasn't the masked man. It was her. She stood drenched in the doorway. Her hair clung in dark strands to her cheeks. Her eyes glowed with fierce determination. Rain dripped from her shoulders. She held a single white envelope. Her lips parted. "Give me that." He stared at the letter in her hand. His world tilted. He hated her name, yet his heart seized. She took a cautious step forward. Thunder rattled the steel door. The masked man raised a gun. Time slowed. His finger quivered on the trigger. Her eyes locked onto his. The envelope trembled between her fingers. A deafening boom erupted. The window shattered behind her. Glass rained down. She lunged forward. He jerked to catch her. Their hands collided on the envelope. He tasted her panic. She tasted his surprise. Lightning flickered one last time. Silence swallowed the warehouse. Her chest heaved under his arm. Her gaze never wavered. He swallowed. Hard, the envelope's seal split open. White paper fluttered free. His name was written in perfect script. Beneath it, 3 words froze him solid. "All my truth." A single tear traced her cheek. His heart thundered in his ears, and then a gunshot cracked. She cried out. Her collapse echoed in the empty hall. Ryan Cole dropped to his knees. Blood blossomed on her blouse. Her hand fell limp on the letter. He clutched her shoulders. Her eyes fluttered. She whispered his name. He gripped her hand. Lightning flashed through broken glass. He had never wanted a love letter more. Ryan Cole woke before sunrise each weekday. He lived in a brick townhouse on Beacon Hill, Boston. The air smelled of roasted coffee and damp cobblestones. He sipped cold brew on a narrow wooden porch. His jackhammer alarm blared at 6 a.m. He pressed snooze once, then rolled out of bed. Ryan worked as an investigative reporter for the Boston Herald. He chased hidden truths and secret scandals. His office hummed with old typewriters and buzzing fluorescents. He wore dark jeans and crisp white shirts. His brown hair was always slightly tousled. He kept a silver pen in his front pocket. His small apartment bore family photos and yellowed. Clippings on photos showed him at 6, holding his little sister's hand. Her name was Emily Cole. She lived in Chicago now, studying forensic science. Their bond ran deep. His mother, Karen, still lived nearby. She baked cinnamon rolls every Sunday morning. He texted her weekly updates without fail. His father, Mark, had died 2 years ago. A heart attack took him without warning. Ryan still missed his steady voice. His apartment walls held his father's framed editorials. He read them late at night for inspiration. On weekdays, he caught the Red Line train. The cars rattled through narrow tunnels. He watched shadows race by the windows. He scribbled notes for his next big story. Ryan never expected personal drama. In his life, he believed in facts, not feelings. He distrusted love letters. He'd burned every one he ever received. Each felt like a trap. But his heart ached sometimes. He felt a hollow spot behind his ribs. He buried it in work. On lunch breaks, he walked Faneuil Hall Marketplace. Tourists jostled past hot dog stands and souvenir carts. He scanned faces for hints of local whispers. He preferred their honest chatter to a lover's lies. He reserved weekends for quiet reflection. He jogged along the Charles River at dawn. Mist hovered over the water like silver smoke. He paused to watch towboats glide past. He jotted story ideas in a small leather notebook. His notes stayed private. He shared only his finished articles. One unresolved element lingered in his mind, a file on an unsolved cold case. His father mentioned it before he died. It involved a woman and a hidden promise. Ryan shelved the folder months ago. He never looked at it again until now. He traced the folder's edge, recalling his father's last words. A sudden ping from his phone stole his attention. His inbox displayed a new message. "Open me." Ryan froze. His thumb hovered. He closed his eyes. He sensed unease coil in his chest. Was this connected to that old case? His breath stuttered. He stared at the screen. A suspenseful question hovered. What if the past just caught up? Asterisk, asterisk, asterisk. Ryan stared at the phone in his palm. The message read, "Meet me tonight. Pier 7, midnight." No sender name, no signature. His pulse throbbed. The old case file fluttered on his desk. He rose and grabbed it. Dust motes danced in golden afternoon light. He flipped it open. A faded photograph fell out. It showed his father beside a young woman. Her eyes glowed with determination. She clutched a sealed envelope. Ryan's breath caught. He recognized the backdrop as Pier 7. His father's final article mentioned a secret meeting there. He swallowed hard. Suddenly, the phone buzzed again. A new message. "Don't bring anyone." He froze. Every instinct screamed danger. He thumbed a reply. "Who is this?" Seconds passed. No response. He closed his laptop with a snap. His reflection stared back from the black screen. He felt exposed. He stuffed the file into his satchel. Rain pounded the roof. Dark clouds rolled across the sky. He glanced toward the window. Light flickered from distant street lamps. He touched the silver pen in his pocket. It had belonged to his father. He wished for guidance. He paced the cramped apartment. Memories of his father's calm voice echoed. "Trust no one, Ryan." His fingers traced the pen's engraved initials. He pictured Emily studying fingerprints in Chicago. He considered calling her. He shook his head. He needed to face this alone. He checked his watch. 7:45 p.m. He had 4 hours. He prepped his recorder, notebook, and flashlight. He peered outside. The street was slick with rain. Headlights reflected on puddles. He pulled on his leather jacket. Its collar smelled like old smoke. He tested the zipper. It caught briefly, then slid smooth. He grabbed his keys. He hesitated at the door. A chill ran down his spine. He stepped into the hallway. The building's fluorescent bulb buzzed overhead. Stairwell doors banged in the wind. He closed his eyes. He pictured his father's gentle smile. He whispered, "I'll find the truth." He descended the stairs. His boots echoed on concrete. He reached the street. Fog rolled off the river. He hailed a cab. The driver's face remained hidden. In shadow, Ryan slid into the back seat. He handed over his credit card. The driver asked no questions. They drove through narrow alleys. Neon signs flickered above empty storefronts. Ryan tapped his fingers on the seat. He rehearsed possible scenarios. What if it was a trap? What if his father's girl was still alive? What if he was too late? The cab slowed near a rusted gate. He paid and stepped out. The air tasted of salt and diesel. Pier 7 loomed ahead. Broken crates and tangled ropes cluttered the dock. A solitary lamp glowed overhead. Shadows pooled. Under the metal beams, he felt a presence behind him. He spun around. No one. His heart hammered. He stepped onto the wooden planks. They creaked under his weight. He scanned the horizon. A cargo ship's silhouette rested against the moon. He swallowed. He clicked on his flashlight. Its beam cut through mist. He approached a weathered bench. An envelope lay atop it. His name was scrawled in cursive. He crouched. His fingers trembled. He opened it. Inside, a single page. No letterhead. Only one sentence. "He's watching." Ryan's blood ran cold. He spun toward the water. Ripples distorted moonlight. Then a faint click echoed behind him. Metal clanged. He whipped around. A figure stepped from the shadows. Tall, broad-shouldered, his features hidden by a hood. He didn't speak. He raised a gloved hand. Ryan held his breath. The figure eased closer. Ryan fumbled for his recorder. His fingers brushed the pen. He clicked it into place. The light's beam wavered. The hooded man stopped 10 feet away. Ryan's breath hitched. He forced himself to speak. "Who are you?" No answer. Only the hum of distant machinery. Ryan realized then, the promise of a love letter had become a trap lined with half-truths and hidden watchers. His heart clenched. He raised the envelope. The hooded figure froze. Footsteps pounded on the wooden dock. More figures emerged behind him. He turned. Shadowy shapes advanced. His throat tightened. Light from the lamp flickered violently. He swallowed hard. His pulse thundered. He had no clear plan, but he clutched the envelope anyway. The wind swept over the pier. It carried a single whispered warning. He's watching. And then footsteps closed in fast. Ryan backed toward a stack of crates. Fog curled around his ankles. The hooded man remained motionless. 2 more figures flanked him. Their breaths came in shallow rasps. Ryan's flashlight beam trembled. He swallowed hard. "Why are you here?" he demanded. A metallic rasp answered. "No letters without price." Rain spattered across the wooden planks. Ryan's jacket soaked through. He squared his shoulders. "My father left clues," he said. Silence fell. A distant foghorn groaned. The lead figure stepped forward. He dropped his hood. A scar streaked down his left cheek. Ryan's heart lurched. He recognized that scar. It belonged to Mason Reed, a crooked cop from his last investigation. Mason's cold eyes glittered. "Cole," Mason spat. "You never learn." Ryan clenched his fists. He felt adrenaline surge. "Where is she?" Ryan demanded. Mason's lip curled. "You'll never find her." His voice was a gravelly whisper. A sudden clang of metal sounded nearby. The second figure a woman whirled. She wore a dark leather jacket. Her hair fell in waves. Her eyes flashed steel. Ryan's chest tightened. He recognized her voice. It was the woman from the warehouse, the one who caught his fall. Her name remained a mystery, yet her presence felt familiar. She leveled a pistol. Rain droplets collected on its barrel. "Step away," she ordered. Mason laughed harshly. "Trust her," he sneered. Ryan's mind raced. Every instinct screamed betrayal. He raised his hands. The woman's gaze never wavered. "You're not who you think," she said. Her voice softened. "But you'll need me." Ryan's pulse thundered. He glimpsed movement behind Mason. A tall, shadowy figure climbed onto a crate. Its silhouette blocked moonlight. Ryan could see nothing but outline. He clicked his pen recorder on. His thumb hovered over record. He needed evidence. He needed answers. Mason's henchman dragged a battered shipping crate closer. Its wood creaked under weight. The woman glanced at Ryan. "His men found her," she whispered. "Alive for now." Ryan swallowed bile. His heart lurched. "Where?" he gasped. Mason's grin widened. "Pier 9, he snarled. "Under the warehouse." Ryan's breath hitched. Memories of that collapsed building rushed back. Corroded beams and broken beams. He remembered the cold darkness. The warehouse felt haunted. He had nearly died there. Now someone he cared about lay hidden beneath it. The woman's pistol lowered fractionally. Her eyes pleaded. "Trust me," she insisted. Ryan stared at her. He weighed danger against hope. He stepped forward. Mason's face darkened. "Wrong move," he warned. Ryan froze. The henchman hissed behind him. The shadow figure raised a rifle. Ryan's heart thundered. His grip tightened on the envelope. He must decide. Run or fight. Lightning split the sky. It illuminated dozens of crates ahead. The path to Pier 9 stretched before him. His pulse rattled his ears. He glanced at the woman. She offered a nod. He nodded back. Mason barked an order. The henchman hefted the crate onto his shoulder. The third figure readied the rifle. Ryan felt panic spike. Despite every warning in his mind, he stepped forward. The woman fell in beside him. Their footsteps clacked on wet wood. Each step echoed like a drumbeat. The rifle clicked. A specter. In the mist, Mason's voice called out behind them. "You'll regret this." Ryan didn't look back. He locked eyes with his mysterious ally. Rain plastered her hair to her face. Her gaze was fierce. He dared to hope. Thunder boomed overhead. A distant siren wailed. They rounded a corner. Strewn debris blocked their path. The woman crouched. She whispered directions. Ryan followed. Crates formed a narrow tunnel. Water dripped from overhead beams. Their breaths fogged in the darkness. A faint light glowed ahead. They emerged beneath the warehouse. Old machinery loomed around them. Rusty pipes dripped sludge into puddles. The stench of mold filled Ryan's nostrils. His boots splashed in shallow water. He heard muffled cries. His heart seized. The woman signaled him forward. They crept toward a grated door. Mason's men paced guard nearby. Ryan gulped. He flicked on his recorder again. Every word could prove vital. The woman fitted a slim tool to the lock. It clicked open. She eased the door ajar. A weak light spilled out. They slipped inside. The door whispered shut. Ryan's breath faltered. A small figure lay on the concrete floor. Her blonde hair fanned around her. She shivered. Her lips quivered with fear. The envelope lay on her chest. Ryan's heart lurched. He recognized the handwriting. He dropped to his knees. "Lily," he whispered. Tears sparkled in her eyes. She blinked against the light. "Ryan," she croaked. Her voice trembled. He reached for her hand. She flinched at his touch. Pain etched across her face. Footsteps thundered outside. Mason's henchman shouted. Ryan glanced at the woman. Her grip on her pistol tightened. He squeezed Lily's hand. "I'm here," he promised. Lily's chest heaved. She pressed the envelope to her heart. Her eyes fluttered shut. A drip of blood ran from her temple. Ryan's chest constricted. He swallowed his fear. He glanced at the woman. She met his gaze. Her voice was a steady whisper. "We need to move now." A trapdoor clanged above them. Mason's shadow fell across the grated door. Ryan's breath hitched. Their time had run out. He helped Lily to her feet. Her legs trembled. He wrapped his arm around her. The woman nodded. They slipped through a narrow tunnel. Water lapped at their ankles. Every step echoed with danger. Behind them, Mason's men shouted. Rain drummed on rusty metal. Ryan tightened his grip on Lily. He glanced at the envelope in her hand. His father's secret lay within. He felt its weight, literal and emotional. They edged forward into darkness. A distant rumble shook the tunnel. The woman whispered urgently, "Faster." Ryan nodded. He trudged on through the water. Lily leaned against him. Her breath was shallow. Footsteps pounded behind them. A rifle cracked. Water sprayed at their backs. Ryan lunged forward. A new horror awaited in the next chamber. Asterisk, asterisk, they emerged into a hidden garage beneath an old brownstone. Dust motes floated in the single hanging bulb's glow. Lily leaned heavily against Ryan. He guided her to a battered workbench. The woman closed the heavy steel door. She flipped on a pair of fluorescent lights. Tools and workout gear lined the walls. She laid out 2 pairs of gloves. "Put these on," she instructed. Ryan slipped his hands inside leather wraps. His fingers trembled. She nodded approvingly. "I'm Mara Brooks," she said. Her voice was calm, authoritative. She tapped a punching bag. "First, stance." Ryan mimicked her posture. Feet shoulder-width apart, knees bent slightly. He clenched his fists. Mara circled him. "You're tense," she observed. Her tone was gentle. "Relax your shoulders." He exhaled slowly. He felt his shoulders drop. She snapped her fingers. "Good, now jab." He thrust his fist forward. The bag barely swayed. Mara shrugged. "Power comes from hips," she demonstrated. Her punch struck with loud thud. She turned. "Try again." Ryan pivoted his hips. His jab landed solid. It grinned. Mara nodded once. "Better." Next, she grabbed boxing mitts. Defense drill. She moved swiftly. He raised his arms. Blocks were awkward at first. Her mitts tapped his forearms. "Faster," he responded with shaky speed. Her praise was soft. "Not bad, reporter." He laughed breathlessly. The moment felt surreal. After boxing, she led him to a heavy bag. Endurance test. He struck steadily for minutes. Each punch burned his shoulders. His lungs seared. He paused. Mara held out water. He gulped deeply. His shirt clung to him. She studied him closely. "Emotional growth," she explained. "Each punch releases fear." He nodded, chest heaving. Next, she pulled a wooden training pistol. "We train accuracy," she said. She set up targets on the far wall. Ryan held the pistol with trembling hands. She guided his grip. "Steady your breath." He inhaled, exhaled. His fingers squeezed the trigger. A blank round pinged metal. He blinked. Mara smiled. "Focus." By the 10th shot, his aim tightened. The target's center held 5 holes. He felt a surge of pride. Later, she led him. Outside a narrow courtyard waited. She placed cones in a zigzag, agility course. He sprinted, ducked, and weaved. His boots slid on wet pavement. He stumbled once. She reached for him. He steadied himself. "Keep going," she encouraged. He completed the course. His legs burned fiercely. He stood, panting. A fierce smile spread across his face. Mara crossed her arms. "You're stronger than you think." Thunder rumbled overhead. Rain pattered through an open grate. He looked at her. Gratitude swelled in his chest. "Why help me?" he asked. Her gaze softened. My family owes yours a debt." She refused to elaborate, but he sensed deeper ties. He wiped sweat from his brow. He touched the silver pen in his pocket. It felt lighter now. His heart felt lighter, too. He had grown sharper, stronger, more resolved. Yet a shadow hovered in his mind. Mara's secret debt, Lily's fragile state, Mason's looming threat. He exhaled into the steady rain. He felt capable, but the true battle still waited. Asterisk, asterisk. Rain dripped from the grimy skylight. Mara led Ryan and Lily down a narrow corridor. Lily's steps faltered. Ryan steadied her. He glanced at Mara. Her face was unreadable. They reached a rusted elevator. Mara punched the call button. Its lights flickered. The doors groaned open. They stepped inside. Mara hit the basement level. The cage rattled downward. Ryan's stomach twisted. Lily closed her eyes. Mara's grip on the railing tightened. The elevator stopped with a jolt. Doors slid open onto a concrete vault. Pipes hissed steam. A single bulb swung overhead. In its pool of light stood Mason Reed. His hands held a blood-stained envelope. Ryan's heart sank. Mason's grin was predatory. "Surprise," he murmured. Lily gasped. Ryan squared his shoulders. "Let her go," he said. Mason laughed. He tossed the envelope at Lily's feet. It landed with a wet thud. Her eyes darted down. She kicked it away. Mara stepped forward, her pistol trained on Mason. He held up his hands. "Not yet," he said. He leaned close to Ryan. "Your ally lied." Ryan's chest tightened. He glanced at Mara. Her jaw clenched. "Explain," he demanded. Mason's gaze flicked to Lily. "She sold you out." Lily's eyes filled with tears. Ryan's mind raced. Mara's hand wavered on the trigger. Mason continued, voice low. "She promised safe passage for a price." He pointed at Ryan's pocket. The silver pen lay half visible. Lily's gasp echoed. Ryan pulled the pen free. He clicked it. "Enough riddles," he snapped. Mason shook his head. "Your father's promise wasn't for you." Ryan stared at Mara. Her eyes glistened. Tears mingled with rain. She dropped the pistol. Ryan lunged. Mara caught his arm. "Wait," she whispered. Ryan glared at her. "Why?" She exhaled shakily. "He owed my family," she said. Her voice cracked. "He promised protection." Ryan's heart pounded. Lily knelt, picking up the envelope. She tore it open. Inside, a deed and a confession. Her real name scrawled on both. Her name wasn't Lily. It was Elena Fraser. Ryan's breath caught. Mason whispered, "So you see." Elena's shoulders shook. She covered her face. Ryan stepped back. His world spun. He looked at Elena. Her real name burned in his mind. He realized then, every secret carried a debt. Every promise cut deeper than a blade. Mason advanced. Elena pushed Ryan behind her. Tears streaked her cheeks. She whispered to Ryan, "I did it for family." Her confession echoed. Mason cocked his head. "Family," he mocked. He raised his gun. Ryan's pulse pounded. He grabbed the pen like a weapon. His voice trembled. "Don't." Mason hesitated. Elena dropped to her knees. She pressed the confession to her chest. The vault's single bulb flickered. Shadows stretched long across the floor. Mason's finger itched on the trigger. Ryan swallowed hard. He saw the envelopes on the floor. He lunged, shoving Mason aside. The gun skittered across concrete. Mason cursed. Elena scrambled for the pistol. Her hands shook violently. Ryan dove after her. They tangled on the floor. The confession slipped into a puddle. Ink bled across paper. Mason roared. He charged them. Ryan rolled aside with Elena. They scrambled to their feet. Elena looked at Ryan. Her eyes pleaded. He nodded once. They ran. Mason's footsteps thundered after. The vault door slammed shut. They were trapped together. Outside, thunder cracked. Rain pounded the earth. Inside, a new bond was forged in betrayal. A secret name, and a love letter undone. That they pounded the vault door with trembling fists. Mason's voice boomed behind the steel. "End this now, Cole." Rain hammered the roof overhead. Elena pressed her back against Ryan. Her tears made dark streaks on her cheeks. He squeezed her hand. "We'll fight," he whispered. The light bulb swung violently. Shadows danced across the concrete floor. Mason's gun barrel crept into view. Ryan braced himself. His legs shook under him. Elena's breath came in quick bursts. He slapped the wall's switch. Harsh fluorescent lights flickered on. Mason recoiled. His eyes burned. Rainwater dripped through ceiling cracks. They stared each other down. Ryan swallowed hard. He clenched the silver pen like a dagger. Elena slid beside him. Her hand found his shoulder. They nodded together. Mason advanced between flickering shadows. Ryan sidestepped and lunged. His fist connected with Mason's ribs. Mason grunted. Elena kicked Mason's ankle. He stumbled backward. Ryan dove for the dropped pistol. His fingers closed around cold steel. Mason recovered with brutal speed. He lunged at Elena. Ryan fired a warning shot. The bullet shattered. A nearby pipe. Steam hissed around them. Mason roared in anger. He tackled Ryan to the ground. Elena screamed. She grabbed a length of rebar. Her arms trembled with fear. She swung wildly. The rebar clipped Mason's arm. Metal screeched. Mason released Ryan. He clutched his bleeding arm. Ryan sprang to his feet. Elena joined him. They faced Mason together. He glared with lethal intent. Footsteps thundered above them. Mara's voice echoed. "Ryan, now." A heavy grate slid open overhead. Mara rappelled down on a rope. Her eyes were fierce. She held a loaded rifle. Mason froze. Rainwater ran down his face. "Stay back," Mara commanded. Mason's gun wavered. Elena pressed herself against Ryan. His voice was steady. "Don't force us." Mason's shoulders shook. He spat blood. "I can't walk away." Mara steadied the rifle. "Elena's safe," she said. Mason looked at Elena. Her eyes locked. On his resolve cracked. He lowered his gun. His ragged breath filled the vault. Ryan exhaled. He took Elena's hand. Mara cuffed Mason's wrists with zip ties. Mason's defiance melted into resignation. Rainwater seeped through overhead. Cracks they led Mason up the ladder. Elena leaned into Ryan. Her body trembled. He wrapped his arm around her. They climbed into the stormy night. Thunder rolled across the dock. Wind whipped their clothes. They emerged into heavy rain. Police sirens wailed nearby. Mason's battered form was handed off. An officer shone a flashlight. Ryan handed over Mason's confession. Elena clung to Ryan's side. He pressed a kiss to her hair. Lightning split the sky again. He whispered, "It's over." She closed her eyes. Tears mixed with rain. Hope bloomed between them. They stood on the wet pier. The city skyline glowed beyond. Rain blurred the neon lights. He held her close. She pressed the soaked envelope to her chest. They watched the cargo ship drift away. His heart pounded with relief. Her fingers traced his jaw. Together, they stepped toward dawn. Uncertain, but victorious. Asterisk, asterisk. They walked together along the damp pier at dawn. The sky glowed pale, rose and lavender. Elena's hand tightened around Ryan's. He smiled down at her. Her cheeks were still wet with rain. She tucked a stray strand of hair behind her ear. He brushed his thumb across her knuckles. "A new day," he said softly. She nodded, blinking against the light. Behind them, police tape fluttered in the breeze. Mason Reed's arrest was official. Detectives loaded evidence into their van. Ryan handed his recorder to Officer Diaz. The officer nodded. "Good work, Cole." Ryan felt a weight lift from his chest. He glanced at the torn confession on the pavement. Ink bled in the morning light. He imagined sealing those old wounds forever. Elena squeezed his hand. She lifted the soaked envelope. He recognized the paper's texture. His father's penmanship glimmered faintly. Her real signature, Lena Fraser, stood proudly at the bottom. She exhaled shakily. "My truth," she whispered. He folded her fingers around the paper. He felt its warmth. "Your truth," he replied. A gull cried overhead. The river's tide lapped at the pilings. Their breath formed small clouds in the cool air. Elena looked up at him. Her eyes were clear now. She offered a small, hopeful smile. Ryan leaned down and kissed her forehead. She closed her eyes. His jacket draped around her shoulders. He felt protective, devoted. Behind them, boats chugged by on the Charles River. Joggers passed. On the adjacent walkway, life carried on in rhythms of sunrise. Elena opened the envelope again. She slid out the folded deed. It granted ownership of a small lakeside cottage. She handed it to Ryan. "It was my father's gift to yours," she explained. Ryan's breath caught. He read the deed's date, June 15th, 2020. 5 years ago, shortly after his father's death. His chest tightened. A bittersweet ache bloomed. He folded the deed and tucked it into his jacket. Elena linked her arm through his. They turned toward the rising sun. He spotted his mother's familiar red Subaru idling near the dock. Karen Cole waved from the driver's seat. Ryan waved back. He motioned to Alina. She stepped forward shyly. His mother climbed out. Her smile was warm, relieved. She enveloped Ryan in a hug. "Thank God you're safe," she murmured. Ryan hugged her tightly. He introduced Alina. Karen's eyes widened. She studied Elena's features. Recognition and relief mingled on her face. Elena stepped into the embrace. Ryan pulled back. His mother's gaze softened. "Welcome home," Karen said to Alina. Alina blinked back tears. "I'd like that," she whispered. They walked together to the Subaru. Ryan opened the back door. He helped Alina inside. His mother started the engine. The Subaru rolled forward. They passed beneath a canopy of elm trees. Sunlight filtered through leaves. Ryan glanced at Alina in the rearview mirror. She leaned her head on the seat. He watched her breathe steadily. Her eyes fluttered closed. He reached back and tucked a blanket around her. She murmured, "Thank you." He offered a gentle smile. Their future stretched out like an open road. He remembered every letter he ever burned. He'd hated love letters. Now he cherished her real name. He squeezed the steering wheel. His mother hummed softly. Alina drifted into a peaceful sleep. Ryan felt hope bloom in his chest. The past had been dark and treacherous, but now a new chapter began, a chapter bound by truth and by love. **